So, this is a tiny house, 280 square feet. Beautiful, efficient, everything in its place. Warm light, clean lines. Exactly what you'd expect from a well-designed, small home in 2026. That panel, that's a full working herb and salad garden, growing 24 hours a day. No soil, no mess, and it fits entirely inside what looks like a wall. This tiny house doesn't just look good. It breathes, it grows, it feeds its owner. And in 2026, hidden indoor gardens built into tiny homes are becoming one of the most extraordinary design trends in the entire small living space. Not just for the aesthetics, though the aesthetics are stunning, for the mental health benefits, for the food production, for the air quality, for the feeling that your home is somehow more alive than any home you've ever walked into. Today we're going into all of it. The 6 types of hidden indoor garden you can build into any tiny house. The science behind why they work, the real costs, and the one design move at the end of this video that turned a tiny house garden from a pretty feature into a genuine food system. Stay with me. This one's beautiful. Subscribe and hit that notification bell right now, because this channel goes deeper on tiny living than anywhere else on YouTube. And stay all the way to the end, because I'm saving the most productive indoor garden system ever put inside a tiny house for the final section. You want to see it? Let's go. Let's start with why. Because tiny house with an indoor garden sounds like an Instagram aesthetic, and it absolutely is one. But in 2026, the case for integrating living plants into a small home goes so much deeper than how it looks. Let's start with the science. Multiple studies show that indoor plants keep you healthier and happier, offering both psychological and physical health benefits that include improving your mood, reducing fatigue, lowering stress and anxiety, improving focus, and improving air quality, improving focus, reducing fatigue, lowering anxiety. For people working from home in a tiny house, where your office is also your kitchen and your living room, those are not small benefits. They're the difference between a day that works and a day that grinds. A NASA study found that having just 1 plant per 100 square feet can significantly improve indoor air quality. In homes with limited ventilation, this natural purification system can make a noticeable difference to health, especially for those prone to allergies or respiratory problems. 1 plant per 100 square feet. In a 300 square foot tiny house, that's 3 plants. That's a threshold most tiny house owners clear without even thinking about it. And here's the dimension most people forget when they think about plants and tiny houses: acoustics. In a standard 2,000 square foot home, a blank white wall is minimalist. In a 200 square foot tiny house on wheels, for blank white walls can feel like a medical exam room. Biophilic elements soften the hard edges of efficient architecture. Adding wood grain textures and hanging greenery doesn't just make the space look better, it makes it feel larger. The organic complexity tricks the eye, breaking up the rigid lines of small room. Plants and soft natural textiles absorb sound, critical in echo-prone small spaces. Plants absorb sound. In a tiny house, where hard surfaces are everywhere, tile, engineered wood, metal fittings, a wall of living greenery acts as a natural acoustic buffer. The space literally sounds softer. That matters more than people realize until they experience it. Caring for plants encourages mindfulness and adds a sense of accomplishment, especially when you see them thrive. These emotional perks can improve your overall well-being and create a more positive environment. Mindfulness, accomplishment, the daily ritual of checking on something living, watering it, watching it grow, harvesting from it, creates a relationship with your home that a perfectly designed cabinet system simply cannot. Your tiny house becomes something you tend, something that responds to you, something alive. That is the real case for a hidden indoor garden, not the aesthetics, though they're extraordinary. The lived experience of inhabiting a space that is growing. The 6 types of hidden indoor gardens in tiny homes. Type 1. The living wall panel, the cabinet that breathes. The first hidden garden type is the one we open with, and the most dramatically effective in a tiny house context: the living wall panel. The concept: a section of wall, framed, finished, looking exactly like cabinetry or paneling, that opens to reveal a vertical growing system behind it. Or, in more open versions, a permanent living wall display that is a design feature of the room. In compact living environments, vertical garden systems work as multifunctional design solutions. Tiny homes demand efficiency, so the priority is lightweight, wall-mounted modules that maximize vertical surfaces without overwhelming the room. A slim living wall near a window can visually expand the space while improving air quality. Foldable tables, built-in storage benches, and narrow shelving units integrated with planters are common combinations in tiny house living wall designs. Wall-mounted modules, 4 to 6 inches deep. That's it. You are not sacrificing floor space. You are not adding bulk to the room. You are turning a blank wall into a living, growing, air-purifying, acoustically softening piece of architecture. In 2026, the best living wall systems for tiny homes use one of two approaches. The first is a soil-based modular panel, lightweight growing pods, mounted on a rail system, each holding 1 or 2 plants. Pothos, ferns, trailing philodendron, peace lilies. These need watering, either manually or via a concealed drip system, but they work beautifully in any wall with some natural or artificial light access. The second approach, and the one growing fastest in 2026, is the hydroponic living wall. No soil, no mess. Nutrient-rich water circulates through the system automatically. And the results? Faster growth, cleaner operation, and a system that can run with almost no maintenance once dialed in. Cost range: a quality wall-mounted modular system for a 5 by 3 foot wall section runs between $200 and $600 for the panels and hardware, plus plants. A full custom hydroponic living wall built into a tiny house at construction, $1,500 to $4,000 depending on complexity. Type 2. The kitchen herb wall grow where you cook. This is the one that changes everyday life most immediately. The kitchen herb wall. A vertical herb garden transforms the kitchen into a dynamic and functional space. Compact hydroponic panels are especially effective in kitchens, allowing homeowners to grow herbs without occupying counter space. In 2026, more homeowners are integrating greenery directly into culinary zones. Above the stove, along the backsplash, on the wall beside the window. In a tiny house kitchen, the herb wall doesn't just add beauty. It eliminates an entire category of grocery shopping. Basil, cilantro, mint, parsley, chives, thyme, all growing 18 inches from where you cook, harvestable with one reach, one snip, right into the pan. The best implementations use window-based hydroponic units, sleek, self-contained systems designed specifically for kitchen windowsills. Modern designs incorporate LED lighting and automatic nutrient dosing. You get fresh herbs year-round while maintaining an uncluttered living environment. Basil is absolutely foolproof in hydroponic systems. It grows prolifically and produces continuously with regular harvesting. Cilantro thrives in these setups, especially with regular outer leaf harvesting. Lettuce varieties work extraordinarily well too. Butter lettuce and arugula can produce year-round. The biggest advantage over regular potted herbs? Harvest in the morning when the plants are most hydrated. Cut just above a leaf node to encourage new growth. Basil plants have been documented producing for over 8 months continuously in home hydroponic setups. 8 months of continuous basil from one plant. In a tiny house kitchen. On a wall. The economics of that single fact. Every time you'd otherwise buy a wilted bunch of grocery store herbs, start to add up very quickly. Type 3. The staircase living wall, the dead space that comes alive. Here is a hidden garden placement that almost nobody thinks of, and that is arguably the most elegant in any multi-level tiny house. The staircase living wall. The wall alongside a staircase is almost always dead space in a tiny house. It's too narrow for shelving that's useful. It's too tall for a single plant, and it's usually the first thing you see when you walk in, which makes it the perfect canvas for a living wall installation. In 2026, tiny house designers are running vertical planter systems the full height of staircase walls, from the ground floor to the loft level. The plants cascade downward as they grow. The morning light catches the leaves as it comes through the upper loft window. And the staircase, which in most tiny homes feels like a necessary structural intrusion, becomes the most beautiful feature in the home. Air plants are particularly effective here. They anchor directly to the wall with no soil, no pot, no water system beyond an occasional misting. Trailing pothose works beautifully, growing downward in long cascades from shelf-mounted planters at the top of the staircase wall. Ferns and philodendrons add texture and a deeper green layer. Cost: staircase living walls using air plants and wall-mounted holders can be assembled for as little as $50 to $200. A more elaborate trailing plant installation with a concealed drip irrigation system, $300 to $800. One of the highest beauty-to-cost ratios in all of tiny house interior design. Type 4. The hydroponic tower in the corner, the food machine that hides in plain sight. If you want actual food production, not just herbs, not just beauty, and you want it in a tiny house without it taking over your living space, the hydroponic tower is the answer. Best hydroponic system choices for small spaces include deep water culture, nutrient film technique, and vertical towers, depending on footprint, weight, and maintenance needs. Hydroponics can improve sustainability by reducing water use, packaging waste, and food miles, though energy use for lighting remains the main trade-off. In 2026, modern LEDs are far more efficient than older grow lights. They produce more plant-ready light with less heat, helping both crops and indoor comfort. The vertical hydroponic tower typically occupies a footprint of about 10 to 14 inches in diameter. It stands 4 to 5 feet tall. It can grow between 20 and 30 plants simultaneously, stacked vertically, rotating slowly to ensure even light exposure. What grows? Leafy greens primarily: lettuce, spinach, arugula, bok choy, kale, Swiss chard, herbs of every variety. And in more advanced setups with sufficient lighting, strawberries, cherry tomatoes, small peppers. The Garden Home Kit, one of the most accessible systems available in 2026, grows up to 30 large plants simultaneously in just 2 square feet of floor space, using a hydroponic method that combines hydroponic and aeroponic growing, with 24/7 growth monitoring cameras, energy-efficient LED lights, and self-watering, starting at $549. In a tiny house corner, tucked beside the kitchen or near a window, a hydroponic tower is simultaneously a food system and a piece of living sculpture. It doesn't hide, it IS the feature, and every week, it produces real food that comes off your grocery bill. Type 5. The bathroom garden, the room nobody thought to green. This one surprises people every time, because the bathroom is the last room most tiny house owners think about when they're planning their indoor garden. And it might be the most naturally suited to it. Here's why. Bathrooms are humid. Bathrooms have warm temperature swings, and a surprising number of plants absolutely love those conditions. Peace lilies, which actively purify air, boost humidity to healthier levels, and promote relaxation, thrive in bathrooms without any supplemental grow light. Spider plants release oxygen around the clock and are practically indestructible in a humid bathroom environment. Pothos will grow faster in a bathroom than almost anywhere else in your home. The peace lily purifies indoor air, reducing mold spores, boosting humidity for easier breathing, promoting relaxation that can lead to better sleep, reduce stress, and improve focus. The spider plant acts as a natural air purifier, removing toxins and boosting indoor humidity. The pothose helps improve air quality by removing toxins such as carbon monoxide and benzene, and can boost moods and create a calming presence. Carbon monoxide, benzene, mold spores, the most common air quality issues in a tiny house bathroom, and 3 plants that specifically address each one of them. In tiny house design, the bathroom garden typically takes the form of wall-mounted planters above the toilet. Wasted vertical space in almost every tiny home transformed into a lush, tropical micro-garden. Or a windowsill shelf with a collection of low-light plants that require nothing but the ambient humidity of the space. Or a hanging planter system from the ceiling above the shower, where moisture-loving ferns and orchids thrive year-round. Cost: $20 to $150, depending on how elaborate you go. One of the highest impact, lowest cost garden integrations in any tiny house. Type 6. The Under-Stair grow room, the secret garden behind the staircase. And now, the hidden garden type that earns the hidden in the title of this video most completely. The Under-Stair grow room. We've talked before on this channel about how the space beneath a tiny house staircase is one of the most underutilized volumes in small home design. Most builders either leave it empty or stuff it full of storage boxes. But in 2026, some of the most creative tiny house designers are doing something completely different with it. They're turning it into a dedicated indoor grow room. Here's what that looks like. The staircase is built as a solid face structure. No visible storage drawers. No under-stair access from the living room side. On the interior of the under-stair cavity, full-spectrum LED grow lights are mounted to the ceiling of the space. A small hydroponic or soil-based growing system fills the available square footage. A small ventilation fan maintains air circulation. The space is climate-stable, light-controlled, and completely concealed from the living area of the home. The access: a flush-mounted panel on one side that swings open, or in the most elegant versions, a section of the staircase itself that lifts or pivots to reveal the growing space beneath it. From the living room side, a staircase. From inside the panel, a fully operational miniature indoor garden, growing food and herbs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, in space that was otherwise doing absolutely nothing. The best crops for a tiny home indoor system are those that grow fast, stay manageable, and give strong returns for the space they use. Leafy greens, herbs, and microgreens are ideal for small indoor systems because they harvest quickly and have high grocery store prices. These crops provide the clearest economic return for the energy and water investment of an indoor growing system. Microgreens, herbs, lettuce, spinach, the crops with the highest grocery store price per ounce and the fastest growing cycle. A well-run under-stair grow room in a tiny house can produce multiple harvests per month of exactly the crops that cost the most at the grocery store. Build cost: $300 to $1,200 depending on the growing system chosen and whether the space was designed in from the beginning or retrofitted. If designed in from construction, it's essentially free because the space was going to exist anyway. I want to take a moment here and talk about the science behind why indoor gardens and tiny houses matter, because the evidence in 2026 is stronger than most people realize. Benefits of physical and visual access to indoor plants include improved non-light visual comfort and air quality, resulting in reduced emotional stress and anxiety, as well as enhanced general health, subjective well-being, and cognitive performance. A scoping review published in a peer-reviewed environmental health journal argued that the use of natural indoor plants and biophilic design is an efficient, low-cost, highly effective, and sustainable strategy for creating healing and therapeutic environments. Reduced anxiety, enhanced cognitive performance, improved well-being. And here's the part that I find most remarkable given our specific context: tiny houses. A study published in 2025 by Texas A&M University and Houston Methodist Hospital evaluated indoor hydroponic gardening on cancer patients over an 8-week period. Participants received AeroGarden hydroponic systems and engaged in weekly growing activities. The results: significant improvements in mental well-being scores, significant reductions in depression, and significantly improved global quality of life, all within 8 weeks of adding an indoor hydroponic garden to their environment. Now, the study was on cancer patients, and I'm not drawing medical comparisons, but the mechanism that produced those results is universal. The act of growing something, tending something, watching something respond to your care, it changes how you feel in your environment. It changes how you relate to your space. In a tiny house, where your environment is your entire world, where the walls of your home are 18 inches from you in every direction, that relationship with your space matters enormously. An indoor garden doesn't just improve air quality or produce food. It transforms the psychological experience of living small. In a 200 square foot tiny house on wheels, for blank white walls can feel like a medical exam room. Biophilic elements soften the hard edges of efficient architecture. The organic complexity tricks the eye, breaking up the rigid lines of a small room. Studies show seeing wood grain in plants lowers cortisol. Plants and soft natural textiles absorb sound. Critical in echo-prone small spaces lowers cortisol. Breaks up rigid lines. Absorbs sound. Makes the space feel larger. The case for a hidden indoor garden in a tiny house isn't just aesthetic. It is psychological. It is physiological. It is, in the most literal sense, a health decision. Let's talk money. Because one of the most beautiful things about indoor gardens and tiny houses is the range of what's possible at every budget level. At the very bottom end, the $20 to $50 range, you can transform your tiny house bathroom and kitchen windowsill with 3 to 5 well-chosen plants and self-watering planters. Peace lily, pothos, spider plant, a basil plant, and a jar of water. The science supports even this level of intervention for air quality and psychological well-being. Start here if you're in doubt. The mid-range, $150 to $600, is where you start building genuinely integrated garden features. A wall-mounted modular planter system for a single feature wall. A kitchen herb hydroponic kit. A staircase living wall built from air plants and wall-mounted holders. A 4-foot hydroponic tower in a corner. These are changes that visibly transform your home and begin producing food. Here's a realistic budget breakdown for a 300 square foot tiny house biophilic renovation at this mid-range level. Plant cuttings from friends or low-cost nursery, $30. Self-watering wall pots and basic planters, $50. Full-spectrum grow lights for dark corners, $60. Wall-mounted trellis and trailing plant system, $80. Linen curtains and natural fiber rug to complement, $150. Total, approximately $370 for a home that looks and feels entirely transformed. At the upper range, $1,500 to $4,000, you are building custom, permanently integrated indoor garden systems. A full hydroponic living wall built into the construction of the home. An under-stair grow room with climate control and full-spectrum lighting. A kitchen herb wall with concealed drip irrigation. These are features that become permanent architectural elements, things that add genuine value to the home and provide ongoing food production for years. The tiny house that feeds itself. I promise you at the start that I was saving the most productive indoor garden system ever built into a tiny house for the end. Here it is, the complete indoor food system. This is a concept being implemented in 2026 by the most forward-thinking tiny house designers, where the garden elements of the home aren't individual features, but a coordinated food production network. It works like this. The Under-Stair grow room produces microgreens and leafy greens on a 2 to 3 week harvest cycle. The fastest return crops, producing continuously throughout the year. The hydroponic tower in the kitchen corner grows herbs and salad greens, a longer growing cycle, but a permanent supply of the most used fresh ingredients in any kitchen. The kitchen herb wall above the stove provides immediate access to daily cooking herbs, basil, cilantro, parsley, chives, harvestable by hand without moving from the stove. And the bathroom garden passively purifies the air of the entire home, contributing to the overall indoor environment quality. Together, these 4 elements form a system. A food garden that doesn't ask for floor space, doesn't ask for soil, doesn't ask for a yard, and produces real, fresh, living food every single week of the year from inside a home that fits on a trailer. Site index equals 62-1. The big advantage of a hydroponic system placed near the kitchen is convenience. Harvesting near the cooking area makes the system easy to use every day. This setup reduces food miles, packaging waste, and grocery costs, while the stable indoor environment makes harvests more reliable than outdoor growing in any season. /site, reliable year-round, 0 food miles, 0 packaging, and harvested with 1 reach of the arm from the stove. In a world where grocery prices keep climbing, where food security is a genuine concern, where tiny house owners are already choosing to live with intention, a tiny house that grows its own food is not a fantasy. It is a design decision, and in 2026, the tools to build it have never been more accessible, more affordable, or more beautiful. We started with a wall that looked like a cabinet. Inside it, a living, growing, food-producing garden. Kitchen herbs above the stove. Hydroponic tower in the corner. Staircase living wall catching the morning light. Bathroom peace lilies purifying the air while you sleep. Under-stair grow room turning dead space into a weekly harvest. This tiny house doesn't just shelter its owner. It feeds them. It calms them. It cleans the air they breathe. It gives them something living to tend every day. And it does all of that in 280 square feet. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 6 garden types would you build first? The kitchen herb wall, the under-stair grow room, the hydroponic tower, or all of them? I want to know. And the most popular answer is going straight into our next video. And if this got your design brain going, check out our video on the tiny house with hidden secret rooms right here, because the under-stair grow room and the secret room video pair together in a way I think you're going to love. Subscribe if you haven't already. New deep dives every week. And I'll see you in the next one.